Good morning and Sairam to all the students. Welcome back in your English online classes. Students, I hope you all have spent your summer holidays very well. So now we are going to start our lesson number 3 of English book. This time I am starting this from our literature book. The lesson number 3 of our literature is The Mountain That Ate People. So, what is our lesson number 3? The Mountain That Ate People, and it is written by Hema Pandey. The author of the lesson is Hema Pandey. Now, I am going to tell you about the author. So, this is about Hema Pandey. Hema Pandey was born in 1928 at Bharatpur, Rajasthan. She went to Japan initially to learn Japanese painting. She loves painting, so she went to Japan to learn painting. She studied Japan in Kolkata and found it extremely interesting, especially Japanese children literature. Her interest eventually moved her to translate some of them English and Hindi. When she went to Japan, then she loved Japanese children literature, and so she started translating them some of the good Japanese stories into English and Hindi. Afterwards, she moved to Gurgaon. Hema Pandey is an author based in Gurgaon now. Her books include Tales from Japan, Oni Demon, Who Loved Rice Cake, and many other stories. The Princess of Light and Other Story Tale from India, Funny and Wise, The Story of the Moon Glow Pearl, The Yellow Butterfly and the Real Monster, The Snow Maiden and the Other Story, and The Asian Splendor Japanese. So these are some books, her famous book which she has written. So she loves Japanese children literature. Now let's do word meaning. Now these are some word meaning. One by one I am going to tell you the meaning of these words as it is already written. Fugual. Here the word fugual is very important. Again and again you are going to heard this word in the story. Fugual lord, land owing or land master. Decree, an official order. Decree, an official order, or decision, especially one made by ruler of a country. Jubilant, extremely happy. Jubilant, extremely happy. Foliage, the leaves of plant. Dismal, gloomy and hopeless. Dismal, gloomy and hopeless. Now these are the five more we are going to learn. Dumbfounded, extremely surprised. Dumbfounded, extremely surprised. Ransack, go through a place, stealing things and causing damage. Ransack, go through a place, stealing things and causing damage. Harass, to make someone's life unpleasant. Harass, to make someone's life unpleasant. Fortified, extremely frightened. Extremely frightened. Folly, an act that is not sensible. An act that not sensible. So these are the 10 word meaning which I have explained you, and these words you can find out in your book and underline it. Student, one important thing, whatever we are showing in the videos, do not copy in the fair notebook. If you feel something important, note down in your any old and rough notebook. For fair work, we'll send you a separate PDF. So these word meaning also, if you want, you can copy in your rough notebook but not in your fair notebook. For fair notebook, I will send you a separate PDF. Now, the character of the story. So here in the story, there are the three main characters. Future Lord is very rude. Farmer, a farmer, simple and caring. Farmer's mother, old and intelligent. So Future Lord, farmer, farmer's mother. These are the main three characters of the story. Now I am going to explain you the story in some highlighted paragraph, or you can say in summary. So as I told you, this story is based on Japan, as Hema Pandey loves Japanese literature. So this is also one of her story which is based on Japan. A Japanese feudal lord, a master, decided that every person older than 61 was useless and needed to be disposed of. So here this is about a feudal lord. He was so rude. He always thought that the person who turned into 61 were become useless. He issued a decree. Decree means order. He issued a decree under the threat of severe punishment that everyone had to leave their family members over that age in the dangerous forest of a high mountain near the city. So there was a high mountain near the city. All the people who turned into 61 have to go there. But in his city there was a farmer. He is very simple and caring. He loved his mother very much. So one farmer who loved his mother dearly was absolutely distraught when his mother turned 61. The mother persuaded him to take her away anyway. But halfway through the journey, the farmer turned back and hid her in a small room under the ground. So when the mother turned into 61, what he did? He just hid her mother into a small room under the ground because he loved his mother dearly. 2-year trends means after 2 years, the feudal lord was overrun by a neighboring overlord. The farmer pleaded for mercy towards his people. The overlord set him a riddle to solve as the condition for his clemency. However, it was too tricky for the feudal lord, and he proclaimed that anyone in the land who could solve it would be rewarded. What happened? After 2 years, another lord, feudal lord, was overrun. Overrun means he wanted his kingdom, but he pleaded for the mercy. So he said, okay, I will send you some riddles. If you will able to solve those riddles, I will not overrule your kingdom. So what was the riddles? These are the 3 riddles. The first riddle is, the problem was, take 1,000, the first riddle I am telling you, take 1,000 strings, tie them into a bundle and burn it into ashes. How can you then bring the bundle to me completely intact? Do you understand the meaning of intact? After burning, the ashes will not intact. But the riddle was this: How you can bring that bundle intact after burning? An impossible riddle. So what happened? He told to everyone, if anyone can solve this riddle, the Lord will reward him. The farmer heard the riddle. He told her mother. He told the mother, and her mother gave the answer. She said, make a bundle out of 1,000 string, soak it in a sea water, and dry it well in the sun. Even if this is burned to ashes, it can still be carried intact to the mighty overlord. So, what she said, make a bundle, soak into the sea water, then put it under the sun, let them dry. After that, if you burn it, it will be intact. The second riddle, how is it possible to pull a silken thread through a narrow pipe with 7 bends? Everybody knows silken thread and with the 7 bends. So what she said, the mother said, place a narrow pipe on the ground and put plenty of sugar at one end. There are 2 ends of every pipe. At one end, put plenty of sugar. Then tie a silken thread round a large ant and release it the opposite end. Surely the ant will put the silken thread through the pipe, because ant wants to eat the sugar. So she will put, and she will take the silken thread to the another side of the pipe. Now the next riddle and the last riddle was, make a drum that will play by itself. So what was the last riddle? Make a drum that will play by itself. So what the farmer's mother told? She said, make an ordinary drum and put some bumblebees inside before covering the side with paper. The bumblebees itself start, so it become a drum which play by itself without any man. So these were the 3 riddles of the story which you will see in your books also. The farmer mother solved it easily, winning the reward for her son and saving the lives of the people. The overlord then repeated the same exercise twice with the same result. The final time around, the feudal lord grew suspicious of the farmer and asked him how he found the answer to the riddles, because the farmer was telling the all answer. Now suspicious, the lord becomes suspicious that how a man is finding all the answer. What was the reason? This time the farmer decided to confess to the truth. On learning about the woman's sagacity, the Lord withdrew the cruel decree. And what happened? He told the truth, that her mother was helping him in solving these problems, and he told old are not useless, they are wise, and every country need the old people because they have such experience which will help in the worst situation. Afterward, that rude lord withdrew the cruel decree. So this was the story. I hope you all have understood the story. Read the story at home. Try to mark the difficult words and find out the meaning from the dictionary. Some of the word meaning I have also told you in the starting. Some you can also get from the book. Now I am going to tell you one book exercise, and the book exercise is prefixes and suffixes. everybody knows about the prefixes and suffixes. Let's do a recall. What is prefixes? Prefixes are set of letters that are added to the beginning. So what is the main thing? Prefixes that are added to the beginning. They are not a word in their own right. They cannot frame a sentence, but yes, after adding, they can change the meaning of the word completely. For example, possible. When you add im as a prefix, it becomes impossible, and the meaning of the word is completely changed now. Okay, now suffixes. Suffixes are the set of letters that are added at the end of another word. Like prefix means as the so these are the examples of prefixes. As I told you, what are prefixes? These are the example of prefixes: moral, immoral, movable, immovable, mobile, immobile, modest, immodest, and important, unimportant. Let's do question answer. The first question is, what did the people do to their parents when they turned 61? The people took their parents to the dense forest on the high mountain near the city and left them in the cold and rain at the mercy of the wild animal. That's why the chapter name is The Mountain That Ate the People. Now question number 2. How did the farmer mother climb the mountain? This is of question 2. How did the farmer's mother climb the mountain? So the answer is, the farmer's mother was taken by farmer on his back. The farmer's mother was taken by farmer on his back. Now the question number 3. What is the question number 3 is, while the farmer and his mother were climbing the mountain, what was the latter busy doing? What was the latter busy doing? She was busy breaking twigs. What she was doing? She was busy breaking twigs. Now, question number 4. What did the overlord of the neighboring state do? Now, this is also important. What he did? He came thundering with his army and horses and waged war against the feudal lord. What he did? He waged war against the feudal lord. Now, question number 5. What happened when the defeated feudal lord pleaded for his people? So yes, he pleaded for his people. The answer is the victorious overlord told if he could solve the riddles correctly, he would spare the life of his subjects. What he said? If he could solve the riddles correctly, he would spare the lives of his subjects. Now the last question. Why did the feudal lord revoke his decree? What was his decree? That old people sent to the forest or mountain. That was his decree. Why he revoked his decree? Because after that instance, he understood, he realized that the old are wise and should be valued. The old are wise and should be valued. Okay, student. So these are some questions of your book. Again, I am saying not to write in your fair notebook. You can do in your rough notebook. It's just a recall of your chapter. The written work will be sent in a separate PDF which you have to do in your fair notebook. Okay, Sai Ram to all the students.